going to call our meeting to order for the October 21st Central Office meeting. The first thing on the agenda is to amend the agenda. We are adding the agreement between the Mcdowell Wellness Center and the school district for swimming usage there. So I need a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I make a motion to approve the amended agenda to add a contract with Ephraim Mcdowell Wellness Center for pool usage and project closeouts.
Okay. And we have a motion, and we need a second. Second. We have a second by Mr. Smiley. All those in favor of the motion to amend the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Now we're down to item 4, which would be board member comments.
Number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we got to approve the amended agenda. I thought we just did that.
I make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Thank you. Second. Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those that say aye that approve the agenda.
Aye.
Okay. Everybody say aye.
Aye.
There we go. All those opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Now we're down to 4, which would be 4A, board member comments. Those who would like to comment?
Yes,
Mr. Smiley?
I have about 4 things I'd like to share, and if you all would bear with me, I have a prepared statement for tonight. First of all, board members, just a communication that might help you with something. I called Laura Cole at KSBA to make sure I had enough credits for this year to qualify to continue on the school board for next year. And the last training for the year is in November next month, and if I needed something, I better get it before the end of the year. And so I need to know now. I found out, believe it or not, I couldn't believe it, I was a half credit, whole half credit. So I behind. So when I found that out, I asked her, what could I do? And she said that there's 2 options other than going to the training for a half credit. Just for your information, one was a video link to the Kentucky Department of Education, a video on restraint and seclusion, and to my email, and that would meet that requirement. And she also said that for board members that are caught in a situation like this, there's also computer things, different subjects that they can send you, and you can do that and then sign a documented statement if you need to make up those hours. So I'm glad I called. I'm just suggesting you all might want to make that call. My next comment is in regard to Mr. Becker's emotional speech last Monday at the Danville School Board. I do have to give Mr. Becker credit. He did say at the beginning of his talk that this was the only his opinion, not the other board members. But unfortunately, it was not printed in the newspaper. And I was concerned that people would think that he represented the whole board when he did not. I would like to clarify that Mr. Becker did not represent the school board with his comments. There was no discussion or information shared prior to his speech. It was entirely Mr. Becker's information and opinion. The information he gave is not the opinion of the entire school board. The next thing I'd like to do is just take a little time and give a vote of confidence in a lot of school systems up north. When things might get a little tough, and the teachers are working hard and the staff are working hard, people in the community step forward and make comments they call a vote of confidence. This evening, I'm speaking for myself, but also many people in the community on some votes of confidence. The superintendent and central office staff. Superintendent's only been here over 1 year. I am confident with more time, we will improve. I give a vote of confidence to our, I feel, excellent superintendent and central office staff. I give a vote of confidence to all the site-based councils. I believe they're working hard, they're moving forward. I think they're going to continue to do a good job. I give a vote of confidence to the principals. We have an excellent principal team in the Danville schools. They're doing good work in their leadership of their schools. I give a vote of confidence to the teachers. I respect teachers in Danville schools. They do excellent work. I had 3 sons come through the system, and I've never experienced a bad teacher. I give a vote of confidence to the support staff. And finally, and most importantly, I give a vote of confidence to the students that if they work hard, they will succeed. The school board is ultimately responsible for all school business and education within the Danville schools. My vote of confidence is given for all the groups mentioned are of high quality and giving their best effort for educational improvement. It has been announced publicly many times that the strategic plan will demonstrate academic improvement. It will take time. Do not consider the last 10 years, but look at the first year of our new superintendent. And she's made changes, she's moved personnel, she's got things in order. Let's not look at the other 9 years. Let's look at 1 year. Let's give time. Give her time. I am confident. I have a vote of confidence for the school board also, working together with this superintendent. I believe that we will be successful. Next topic, I know some of y'all are going to chuckle when I go through this one. Go ahead. You won't hurt my feelings. Identification of another important group in the Danville school family. In 2016, in the election before the last one with Glenn, Steve, and I, there was a public debate at Danville High School for the candidates. I went to the debate as a concerned citizen of Danville schools. I was most impressed with Troy Mcdowell. The moderator asked the question to Troy, what single item would you like to see Danville schools improve on? Troy's immediate response was in a few seconds. Improve and increase parent involvement in their children's education. Let me restate Troy's comment. Improve and increase parent involvement in their children's education. There was complete silence and agreement in the auditorium with Troy's answer. The next day, I was so excited, I got up early, I wrote a letter to the editor in support of Troy to be on the school board. And he got elected. It probably wasn't because of my letter, but it's because he's a good man. And I wanted to make that point. Also, the reason I wrote it in the paper, I wanted the entire community who reads the paper to be sure to see the message that Troy was sending out. Parent involvement in the Danville schools, in my opinion, is good. Danville schools has reached out and parents have responded with participation in their children's education at home. Any parent who is not participating should consider it. Work with your child at home. Come into the school. My vote of confidence goes out to the involved Danville parents, and I hope we get a lot more of them. Next is academic achievement and test scores. Yes, I don't know anybody in the Danville school system, on the school board, or any friends or anybody that doesn't know that we certainly would like to see the scores improve. Test scores need to improve. Last Monday, Sherry Satterley, assistant superintendent, made a few comments regarding instruction. And she said the most important message of the evening, and I hope I'm restating it because it was that good. Here's what she said. We have to teach grade level standards to grade level students in order to prepare them for the next level. And if we are doing that, then the goal is eventually the test scores will start to show a positive trend up. And that's what we're doing. Satterley said she has never seen a separation between assessment and innovation. Teachers could be innovative when teaching the state-required standards. I have complete confidence with the leadership, teachers, parents. If we all pull together, as well Steve said at the end of his talk, that we will achieve and we will be successful. Regarding test scores, I want to talk about that just for a couple minutes. Students come to the educational setting with two talents. And I'm talking about wee little Susie and Johnny. They have a vocabulary, and that's the number of words they know. They also have a basic understanding of how words are put together or organized. Okay? Let's take student A. Student A comes into the educational setting with 400 words, and these are just random numbers, and a low understanding of how words go together. Student B has twice as many, has 800 words, and has a basic understanding of how words go together. These students come into the educational setting, and they start through the system. You would think, obviously, that student B that had the 800 words is just going to take off. Well, let's hope he does. And you also hope the student with only 400 words will take off. My question to you is, should we celebrate both of them getting their success wherever it's at? Yes or no? Sure. Would you say yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, we would. As time goes on, as years go by, the person with the 400 words is going to get better and better. And who knows? He could, and it has happened, will pass the other child that was ahead before. The fire comes alive, the teacher inspires them, they have that relationship, and they're just going to town. And the test scores are set up by the state are high standards, and they should be high standards. But let's not get all worried about the younger ages. We're working on that. We have a plan. As they come up through, I am confident, I use my word again, I give my voice of confidence that we will succeed. Today I attended the Retired Teachers Association meeting. I've been active in that for a long time. Don't ask me how long. You can find out how old I am. One of the retired teachers was talking about improvement, and she said, "You know, Mr. Smiley, you're not from Kentucky, but you're getting a little better." She said, "You know, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar." And I said, "Well, what's that mean?" And she said, "That means, you know, if you're positive, you know, you're going to get people to respond better and work better than with criticism." And I said, "Okay, I'll remember that. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar." I'm not going to go out and look for flies and try to do that, but I'll take her word for it. Positive reinforcement is more effective than negative comments given to students, staff members. We need to support our schools. I give a note of confidence for our students. A couple last comments, especially for the teachers. Today, we had a good old time, us old retired teachers, and the leader, speaker that came in was a total joy. She'd been a retired teacher for a long, long time, and she gave some information. Right now in the state of Kentucky, there are 39 retired teachers who are over 100 years old. Could you imagine working in that classroom all those years? And now, there's 39 of them are still alive out walking the streets, probably chasing kids around on the playground or something, doing something. And then, There are 6,708 retired teachers that are over 80 years old. Let me say that number again. 6,708 retired teachers over 80 years old. These folks are still active in their communities as the retired teachers are in this community. And I just thought that was great. My last quote is from Lee Iacocca. You all know who that man is and the success he's had in his life. And he has a quote about teachers. In a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers. And the rest of us would have to settle for something less. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mr. Smiler. Anybody else?
Well, I just want to say totally a little bit off. Well, just thank you to or congrats to our soccer team for being regional champions. That hasn't happened in Danville since 2011. So if you think those high schoolers or middle school and maybe some in elementary school, the last time that happened, that's pretty exciting for a school like ours, and for our girls to win district. I think that's really amazing. And both of those teams, and I was trying to look it up, the exact accolade they won for their academic performances, but they were nationally recognized for their academic performances. So that is a huge feat for a small school, and I hope everybody goes out tomorrow night to support them as we host at the fields tomorrow night. I think it's at 7.
It's a good time. Anybody else?
I
Are you
like-
finished, Lori? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I like to say one of the things that Dr. Mcdowell noticed when she got being recognized, that the scores were low, and she attempted and made some changes to increase that. And that was an immediate need, and she saw that and reacted to that. And got, not only reacted, but got proactive in putting in programs and systems to make sure that I turned around. But one thing I have to tell people, and seeing the article, I seen the paper the other day, and I kept it as one thing, those things take time to turn around. But the key thing is our superintendent has put the process in place for it to turn around. It took a few years for it to get down there. It's not going to happen not going to happen next Friday. We go the other direction. It's going to take a process. And right now we have work in progress, and we are behind on what she's doing in that. So my accolades go after her for that. Again, a vote of confidence.
I'd like just to comment. This morning I had a really good meeting with Michael Streisick. He's one of the council parent member at the high school. And just talking about this is a real positive. I know I came across pretty passionate. Some people said I was a little harsh. If I came across that way, I do apologize, but I'm not going to apologize for the things that I said. And the reason being on that is that we all do need to work together. We all need to face all the same challenges and realize that we have a lot of challenges, but we also have a lot of great things that are going on in our school district. So that being said, we're actually hoping to start working with all the councils as a board in some type of structure. We're not sure where that's going. We want to work with the superintendent, the principals, and some of the council folks so that we have more communication going on between Board of Education and the site-based councils. And that will happen very quickly. So we've already gotten a little advice from Mr. Davis, who was kind of our go-to guy years and years ago, and still is, dealing with the site-based issues. And so that will be happening. One thing out of all of this that is happening is just what took place tonight. We are having a conversation, and it's a conversation that's positive. And it's something that we all know that as long as we're contributing and our hearts are all in the right spot, and that is to give the best to our Danville kids, then all this is going to be a moot point in a year, I guarantee it. But now I just felt like I just wanted to set the foundation that we all can work together, be transparent on everything that we're doing, and just to be honest to ourselves. That's what it takes. We just have to be honest and get it from within. And once we're there, great things are gonna happen. So we do have the team, we have the staff. I said that. I feel very strongly we're on a positive note, and that's where I want things to continue. So I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate the dialogue, whether you're against it or for it. It's still talking points, and so good things are going to be happening. So thank you all very much.
Something I learned working in the city of Palatka, Florida a few years ago. The guy told me this, that in every group you have what's called cave individuals. And I said, what's that? He said, citizens against virtually everything. So we're going to have that.
Well, Mr. Ball, let's hope not.
I hope not, but that's usually the case.
Yeah. But like I said, once again, I appreciate all the board member involvement and comments and exchanges from other folks out in the community, and definitely we're on a great positive. So
Yes, sir.
I would like to turn it over now to the superintendent and her comments.
Just a couple of quick comments. Again, as normal, my calendar and the update on the leadership standards is attached for your review on my performance. A couple of quick things. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we were awarded another $15,000. That's in addition to the $45,000 that we got from the governor's office for early childhood. It's a quality improvement grant. It's going to help fund improvements not only in our preschool but other area early childhood providers in the community. So we got an additional $15,000 on top of the original $45,000. So that's a great deal and opportunity for us. And Sherry Sadley and Suzanne Farmer have been instrumental in making that happen. So thanks to them for all the work they've done to help us receive those funds. In sports, we've already mentioned, I did have on my list, girls soccer team won district, which is amazing. And then, of course, the boys, 12th region champs, and it is 7 p.m. on our field tomorrow. That's the first round for the state, so very excited to host that tomorrow evening. Our volleyball girls received first place in district regular play, and the district tournament starts this week, and our girls play tomorrow night as well, so we'll have that going on tomorrow as well. And then I was watching Mr. Elmore, his head was shaking to make sure I didn't get that one incorrect. And then cross country regional starts this Saturday, so we've got a lot of district and regional tournaments going on currently.
Okay. Thank you. And next, we're going to have student recognition and volunteer recognition from the high school. Just the volunteers tonight, right, Mr. Elmore?
Oh, you have your students too?
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Well, let's start with your students.
Well, it's all the high school tonight, so
Right.
you just go with it.
You've got the show tonight. And Mr. Ball will represent the board and Superintendent McDonald.
So if you'll come on up, you can stand up here with me, as long as I do it. You can come up too. Come on. Everybody. This is Emma Webb. In my short tenure, she was recognized for her score on the PSAT as a commended score recipient. I also looked at her ACT. It's a 33 and 35 now. So see, she's one of those driven that follows with our pride, being dedicated and engaged in trying to achieve better. And one of the things that caught me also with both these students is perfect attendance.
Oh, boy.
And so at the high school, the focus for us, we're up 2 or 3% this year, and that's a driving force for her. So Emma Webb being recognized tonight from the high school.
Let me shake your hand. Let me shake hands with greatness.
We'll slide that way, and Darian will slide in. Being recognized for Football Student Council, also showing pride in everything he does, as well as perfect attendance also. So we look for that, being models around the school, and he's one of those, both these individuals. In the classroom, also in the hallways, just a real positive note for us. So Darian, I want to recognize you for that. Thank you, sir.
I had Darian in class when I was substitute teaching. I had him in class. Never had any problem from him. Not a one. He was a good kid.
Thank you very much. We have my two volunteers, Mr. Streisig, Michael Streisig, and also Maurice Bell. If they'll come up. Being that we spent a lot of time together, they're both site-based members. And really, honestly, and I don't know that I shared this with them, but I kind of zipped out after our site-based meeting on Thursday because I was heading to the soccer region championship game. But it's the first time in, I guess, 10 plus years, maybe 15 plus years, being on a site-based council, also running a site-based council, that I saw the parents and the teachers talking about how we could improve and how could we get better. And they're both challenging me to the best that we can for the students at Danville High School. And so, Maurice Bell, I want to recognize you for your volunteer, not only here but also with boosters tonight. And Mr. Streisig, Michael Streisig, also for challenging me to be better in everything you do for the schools, the students at Danville High School. So I really appreciate that. We want to do one photo or two? I'm in my shorts. I just came from physical therapy.
Your legs won't break the camera. See, that didn't break.
Okay. Thank everyone. Thank you all. Michael? Yes, sir. Legs look good, buddy.
I appreciate it. See you.
And then also we have personnel notifications, and I'm sure you all have looked at that. If you have any questions or comments, get with the superintendent on that. Okay, we need to have a motion to approve our previous minutes.
Make the motion to approve the minutes of September 9th, September 16th, and September 26th. As presented.
Second motion.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you all. The Wausau Train Intelligence Service and Measurement and Verification Package, which we discussed at pretty good length at the work session. But I would like for Dr. Mcdowell just to do a brief synopsis and where I think we're going to land on the cost.
Okay, so we talked about this at the work session this past Monday, and we were presented with three options. I'm going to recommend that we go with option 2, which is a total of $14,800. And so there are two different pieces that are within this option. So as you know, we went with, starting, I think it was in 2005, a 20-year bond to where we would monitor and really look at how we were performing to really drop our utility rate. We have seen some really strong numbers. You saw that in the presentation last week of money that we've saved with this program over time. We also are tied to that in a 20-year contract, so we will have to continue that. If you noticed, and you have quite a few attachments on there, that under Exhibit H, it says Exhibit H Maintenance. That's where the measurement and verification is. That's the piece that's tied to the 20-year contract that we have, and that's $1,800. So if you subtract that, you will actually see in the other contract, if you subtract that $18,000 from the $14,800, you're left with $13,000, and that's the cost for the intelligence services. And so over the last 3 years, we've had a meter at the high school that monitors maximum use at any one given point of the electricity in the high school, and it electronically will turn off or increase electricity to certain areas so that we don't hit a really high peak, which causes our rate to increase, and we went through that in detail this past Monday. Through that, we've saved quite a bit of money at the high school, well over what that's cost us for the last 3 years. And so with this additional this $13,000, that will allow us to continue monitoring at the high school. It will allow us to put a meter on at Tolliver and then work on reducing that rate at Tolliver. So this will add Tolliver, continue monitoring at the high school. It will take care of our 20-year contract that we have with the measurement and verification piece. So I would recommend option 2. If there are any questions, would be glad to take those at this time.
Any questions or discussion? Okay.
As long as they're going to service the units, like as long as we're having trouble with them, it sounded like they did that, so.
Yes, and this does include that service agreement where yes, that piece is in there as well.
They've been proactive
Yes.
in what they've been doing.
I guess the numbers were.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Spend some to get more back.
Yeah, and we'll save quite a bit, and as you noticed on the rates for all 4 schools, Tolliver has the highest. We're paying the highest rate at Tolliver. It's our largest population currently that's not due, so.
Any more discussion? Okay. So we need a motion, please?
I'll make a motion of the RSOD Train Intelligence Services and M&V package for $14,800 is submitted.
So we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion at all? Okay, seeing there is none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. The next item is the Wausau paper payback plan. We'll just do a quick, if you don't mind, Dr. McDonald, just a quick summary on that.
Okay, so we've been in negotiations with Wausau Paper for a good bit of time. You do have a summary that's attached. We've already paid back 2014 tax refund of $137,094.65. We still owe for 2015 and 16. Those 2 years total $334,712.49. We worked out a payment plan over 3 years with Wausau Paper. We'll start our first payment January 15th of 2020, this upcoming January. We will pay twice a year. Our payments will be approximately $55,785. You have a MOU attached for you to review, which lays this payment schedule out. It also states in there that we paid 2014 in full, so they couldn't come back and claim anything after that point, and that this is all we owe them. So this is it. We're good at this point once we get this paid back.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any discussion, questions? Vince, are you good? Okay. Okay. All those, we need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the Wausau paper payback plan as submitted.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Are we doing the CATS?
It didn't come through, so we'll
Fine,
table it
just
for next
Table that
meeting.
till next,
Yep.
okay. Brian, is that something we have to do immediately if you get it?
No, it
No,
can wait
so we can
till,
wait till November?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we're tabling that. And then the reason we amended the agenda was the contract for pool usage with Ephraim Mcdowell Wellness Center. Do you want to go over that, Dr. McDonald?
Yes, we on Monday approved for the use of the center pool, which was free. We do have a small fee with the Ephraim wellness contract, but they need the additional lane. It actually has in the contract 3 lanes. I believe that they're currently only planning to use 1 lane, and the fee is very minimal. It actually has a date that they started on the 14th, but they've not been in this pool yet. So I think that they will want to start this week once it's approved. So.
Will we be using center and the welcome center?
Yes, both. Mm-hmm.
So then you have a little more latitude.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the contract for the pool usage with the Ephraim Mcdowell Wellness Center.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. And next, we're going to have our finance report. And this is on the financial statements?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you should have an attachment for the month of September. We'll look at our bank reconciliation, information from the trial balance. If you'll remember, at the end of the month, last month, we ended with $1,313,543.78. Total receipts for September, you'll see them on page 2 and 3. $5,120,710.06. And then total disbursements for September is on page 4, $2,923,278.43. That leaves close of balance for the month $3,510,975.41. The second section is from our balance sheet. We've got it broken down by funds. You'll see the different amounts of the funds, and that totals to the $3.5 million also. At the bottom, you'll see the bank reconciliation. On page 5, you'll have a copy of the front page from Farmers Bank for the bank rec that shows what was at the close of the month. Our outstanding checks for payroll were $246,156.76. Accounts payable was $104,632.52, which also ended with the $3.5 million. And that's the bank rec.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions or concerns? Okay. So we need to have a motion on that, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve of the financial report as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. So now we're going to do payment of invoices.
Yeah, payment of invoices. You should have an attachment for that also. A couple of things I just wanted to point out to everybody. On page 1, you'll see a charge for $3,150. That is our, I think, monthly asbestos.
That's a year. No, that's a yearly.
Is that a yearly?
That's yearly.
I'm sorry, it's the yearly asbestos.
Yeah.
On page 5, you'll see a charge for $3,500. That's our bait SRO. It's to the sheriff's department. Most everything on here was pretty common, other than just a couple of things I just wanted to point out. If you look on page 26, there's a charge for $18,193.32. That's our cafe tables, our cafeteria tables at Hogsett. We were lucky enough to get them in the day before the kids arrived.
I was there for that.
Page 27, you'll see a bond payment for $458,775. And then that is all I have. So if you have any other questions, just let me know.
Okay. I did look over some of this and just need to know why we're paying $850 for a water bill
So
at Jenny Rogers.
that bill actually covered 2 months, which
Right.
included July and the first of July and August,
Okay.
which included when we were actually moving in the building, had people in the building packing.
Okay.
So we were actually using the building.
It was like the first of June until the first.
It was July and August, I believe July and August, wasn't it, Christy? So we actually had quite a few people and were using the building during that time, packing and moving. So
Okay.
it should be much lower on the next
Yes.
segment, so. this
Yeah, I
is
just,
sep-
like I said, the number stood out because it's an empty building.
Yes.
Well, we pay 2 months at a
Right.
time, and they're usually a couple
Oh,
months.
that's the way they do it.
Yeah.
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 So-
No, I understood
Yeah.
that, but it still seemed pretty high
Yeah.
to me.
And there'll also be a basic flat rate,
Yeah.
whether you're using, or whether you're using it or not, because it's a commercial rate. So there's gonna be a base fee we're
Sure.
gonna pay regardless, just because the building's there and we're keeping the utilities turned on. But it was 2 months and we actually were using the building during the move at that time.
And then the other one I was concerned with was the water bill for Hogsett.
And that's
And I know
hard
it's
to do
too
with
mu- I-
construction.
We were still
Construction is
under
still going on.
construction, yeah, at that time.
Okay.
So both of those should be smaller next time.
I just thought that there's still paying Ross Tarrant, is that almost done? There was an invoice here for $7,000.
Yes.
That was like from the end of the.
Right.
Yes.
There's
Is
still,
that
still a little more,
still a
but
little?
not a whole lot. But
Okay.
I think we've got them around 95% paid, maybe a little more.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any comments or inquiries? Okay. So we need a motion, please?
Make a motion to accept the financial report for payment of invoices as presented.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion to pay the invoices, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Ms. Danny? So my understanding, I know you're, lots of stuff.
You'll ask me a question, and whatever it is, I will not have it in my hands, I'm sure.
Well, I hope not. I hope I don't ask that question.
I hope you don't either.
Okay, on the facilities update, on A and B, are we tabling both of those at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
The bait extract BG1 and change order, engineer is preparing the actual plan of placing those 3 new units on the rooftop curbs and electrical work and all that for the company that'll be doing it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Do you need a motion to table?
No, we really don't, it'll be picked back, hopefully in November, correct? We'll
Yes.
have this moving?
He
Okay.
just needed a couple of weeks, and it was a week ago, so.
Okay, all right. So then under 11C, which would be project closeouts, so why don't we start at the beginning?
Okay, so, I'm not sure, so your first one you have listed there
Is a BG4 on Tolliver
so the
renovation.
15117, that's a BG4 that solidifies the financing of the project. We have to have that one in, and then the last payment to Ross Torrent, and all of it officially closed, and then we'll do our BG5s.
Okay, so these go from a 4 to a 5, and then once the 5 is obtained, then that's submitted.
Considered closed out. Once it's approved with KDE, the project is closed out, and move on.
Okay, so on that one, we're actually, you said there may be additional
There will be additional
billings coming.
payment for Ross Torrent and one additional for remote key programmer.
Okay.
Is Danny Goodwin here?
Close enough.
It's been a nightmare for both he and those keys.
And then, so we can move to the next one, which is a BG4 also on the partial roofing project at Bay.
Do you think you need to approve each one so that there's a board approval on each one? I don't think I have to upload that. We can just count it all as the same, I would think.
Well, also, they're not really completed, correct?
Well, I'll need your signature on the BG4s.
So the BG4 is complete.
It's just we haven't gotten.
We have to have a signature on the BG4. Anything you sign, the board has to approve.
Okay, well,
We need you to sign the BG4. So the board needs to approve this BG4.
Sure.
It's complete. The project's not complete until we move to the 5.
It would be good to do them individually.
okay, that works. Okay, so we need a motion, please.
Make a motion of the approval of the BG4 for the Tolliver renovation project number 15-117 as submitted.
So we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right, now we're gonna move to BG4 on the Bait roofing project, correct?
15044.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one is, we could actually do the 4 and 5 at the same time on this one. It's been, I think the 4 is just a signature needed, and 5 already has all of the information on it as well. So we can do both and submit.
I don't see the 5's not on here. So you did the 4 and the 5 will be in November. It's not listed. If you completed it, it didn't need to upload it.
That's
So
fine.
let's just do the 4.
We'll do 4.
Okay, so we need a motion, please.
Make a motion of the BG4 for the BMS, Bay Middle School partial roofing project number 15-044 as submitted.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, now it looks like we're moving to a BG5, is that correct?
That is
On
correct.
the,
This is
the track.
15283. This was actually the resurfacing of the high school track.
Okay,
That just needs a BG5 signature, and it closes that project completely out. It's
And then-
just paperwork.
okay, but we need to go ahead and approve it.
Yes.
Okay, so we need a motion, please.
I make a motion that we approve of the BG5 for the DHS track resurfacing project 15-283 as submitted.
Need a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Next one's the 15284, it's basically the same, it's just the tennis resurfacing. They both happen at the same time, two different BGs.
Okay, so we need a motion, please.
I make a motion that we approve of the BG5 of the tennis resurfacing project 15-284 as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Now we're down to 11C5
This will be a 4 and a 5.
and a 5, and this is on the athletic field drainage project.
Irrigation and field drainage back in 2012-13. BG 13115.
Right.
Just need approval to close both of those out.
Okay. Can we have a motion, please?
Can I make this motion?
Sure.
I've been trying to get in here. I got in there.
Open your mouth, that's all.
Thank you, brother. I move the approval of BG4 and BG5 for the Danville High School Athletic Field Drainage Project number 13-115 as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
Next one's 15256. This is the Hogsett Library roof replacement back in 2014-15. It is a BG5. I'll put it out completely.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Okay. We need a motion, please.
Make a motion of the approval of the BG5 for Mary G. Hogsett Library Roof Replacement Project 15-256 as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And then the last one?
It's a BG5 for Hogsett and Bate roof replacement back in 2016. BG 16134.
Okay. Need a motion?
All right, I make a motion for the approval of the BG5 for the Bate Middle School and Mary G. Hogsett roof replacement project 16-134 as submitted.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Doesn't it feel good to get all that cleaned up?
Is there any like advantage? I mean, just,
Did we find any money?
A little bit. Still working on it. So I have to wait till Tim gets back into their negatives and not negatives, and I just get a little confused. It's not how I do my checkbook. It's where how you run the report, so he'll sit down with me, and I feel like I know, but I'm not totally 100% confident. So there's a little bit, yes.
Well, if there's found money, that's always a good
Good
thing.
found money.
Yeah. Well, Ms. Day, thank you so much.
You're welcome. There'll be more.
Okay. Well, that's all
It's just
right.
what I can get done.
So while we're here, so we're happy to do it. Our next item is the consent agenda. Without discussion, I need a motion, please.
Make a motion that we approve of the consent agenda without discussion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Motion carries. So, do we have anybody that needs to speak or wants to speak? Okay. So we can do that. And we're gonna be in executive session for a very short time. We need a motion, please, on item 14.
I make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.8101B to discuss potential sale of property because publicity would likely affect the value of the property.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion in several seconds. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, motion